cruise tourism potential of India is just tremendous, and there are two reasons for it. I think first of all, we have a population of 1.4 billion people. If you take even a percentage, that means we're talking about, and that's a very small segment of India's growing middle class. I think we have a, almost a 14-15 million passenger potential, which is a lot larger than most countries in most places. So I think just because of our demographic gift, I think India is a huge market. India is the, has got such a large coastline, thousands of kilometers of coastline, one of the biggest coastlines of the world as any nation. I think the potential for even foreign tourists to come and enjoy it, I think will be tremendous. So I think if you combine the fact that between the Indians who would be able to afford something like this and combine that with foreigners wanting to explore India's vast coastline, I think the potential is just tremendous. The conference just could not have been timed better. Around the world, cruising is starting, and of course India, I think the Indian government have been extremely proactive to make sure that the Indian cruise market and cruising market has been opened up immediately right through pandemic, and now they've done everything to make this happen. So I think this conference comes at a very good time when the world is looking for alternatives to China, looking for alternatives to even cruising in North Europe where there are still restrictions. And I think India provides such a phenomenal opportunity for international cruise companies to come and establish their bases here, to establish their cruise operations here, both international as well as domestic out here. And I think this is a phenomenal time for everyone to come together and start planning for how to set up the processes, the regulations, the game plan, the strategy to take advantage of this huge opportunity that the Indian cruise market, I think, provides. So I think the timing of the conference couldn't be better, and I think the objective will be to really figure out how within the next 24 months India becomes a major cruise destination. I think the features of this conference will be actually number one for the international cruise companies and the people like us who are cruise terminal and cruise port operators and facilitators, and we will come together with the various government officials under the auspice of the shipping minister, the tourism minister, and have a chance to interact and put before the government some of our concerns, some of the challenges that we have, which we face, to make sure that cruising in India is smooth and of international standards. So I think A, you will see that interaction, and I think B, you will see a lot of expectations then coming back from the government, where the government will say, okay, we are putting all these different initiatives and investments in place. What is it that the cruise industry globally and in India will now commit in terms of bringing in more and more ships, more and more cruising in India. So I think it's going to be a two-way interaction over the 2 days for understanding each other's expectations and then delivering. And I think maybe the third element will be to try and share best practices and bring an understanding of the best practices from around the world, and at the same time for the international companies to understand how far and what progress the Indian government has made. I think Mumbai is going to be a cruising hub in the entire Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean area. I think Mumbai is going to become a massive hub, and I think this conference is going to lay the foundation for that. This conference is also going to lay the foundation for India being a massive cruising market, where international companies are going to now really set up their base and shop in India and work closely along with the opportunities that our government is providing and take this forward. So I think the expectations are very large, and I think the outcomes are going to be equally large as well.